this is spearmint.
We just come in and cut pieces off, mow to the ground.
And we've got this in a pot. We've also got some in the ground.
Yes.
If you put it in the ground, it will grow like crazy.
Yes, it does.
And it will come back year after year from seed.
And be careful you don't put it by anything that you don't want it to choke out, because it can get out of control if you're not trimming it, keeping it pruned back. I have to cut it back from the hibiscus all the time. You can make mint water or add this to tea. Wash it good, and you can dry it and use it during the winter to make tea, or you can use it fresh. And it makes a wonderful cup of tea.
And what I like to do, we've got the lemongrass here that we're gonna cut in a minute. I like to take the spearmint and the lemongrass, put them in a pitcher with some, like a glass mason jar, big glass mason jar, gallon sized or something like that. Put them in there with your water and your tea bags, green tea or black tea, whichever you prefer, and put it in overnight and just let it all kind of mix together. You don't even have to add any sweetener or anything. It's a really refreshing tea.
On a hot summer's day, it's excellent.
You really can't beat it.
No. There's a ladybug. Those kind of bugs I like.
She likes the praying mantises too.
I don't.
She says she don't, but she really does.
I seriously
She's
hurt
grown.
myself getting away from
She's
them.
grown to love them.
No. Not at all. I've never liked them since I was a kid. My grandmother used to chase me with them things. I think that's why I dislike them so.
Some of these things of mint get thicker, and their stalks even get kind of woody if you leave them too long.
Yeah, you want to cut them while they're tender.
That one there is getting ready to go to seed.
Yeah, we're going to leave him and let him flower and make a seed.
But when they start getting that head on them and going to seed, their stems get real thick, and will even turn brown and look like wood.
And I know it looks like I'm taking a lot off of this, but
it'll be back in no time.
It'll be back in no time.
It comes back very, very quickly.
Yes, it does. This one's also starting to put out that top that will make seed.
And I'm gonna take about 4 or 5 of those sprigs and mix it with some of the lemongrass when we get it cut, and make a pitcher of tea today. And I actually prefer using the green tea in it.
Yeah, I like the green tea too.
It's milder than your black tea. And it's a good detox. And what I do, we've got a strainer here. Just put it in the sink, run some cold water over it, If you're gonna let it dry, then just leave it on the counter and let it dry. It'll take it a couple of weeks to get good and dry before you want to package it up. If you don't wait for it to dry, it will mold. If you package it up before it's completely dried, it will mold. So you want to make sure it's turned color, turned dark or brown, and dry, crispy dry, before you package it. And you can put it in a Ziploc bag, you can put it in a airtight container, whatever you've got around, mason jar. It really doesn't matter. If you want to keep some of this fresh, you can put it in the fridge in a jar with some water, and it'll stay fresh, it'll stay crisp for a while. And you can drink the water. And you can drink the water as you go. The lemongrass is the same way. They both work about the same. As far as cutting them, as far as storing them, drying them, all of that. So they make a good match, because you can do them together.
Yes, they do.
And this lemongrass, you can see that it is tall. This is about the third or fourth time since we bought it earlier this summer that we have cut it back, and we'll show you at the end how far we cut it back. And it just, especially with the rain, it just continues to grow very, very nicely.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is just gather up a handful and go down a ways and snip it off.
And you can use any scissors. You don't have to have special scissors or anything. And one of those bunches like she's gathering to cut, that's about what I will take and put in the tea. But you can cut these plants way back, and they'll come back.
Yep, they will.
Cut them back to where they're starting to turn brown and get hard there at the bottom. You can see the difference from the leaves and the little stalks there. Cut them all the way back. And you can take both of these, if you've got them in pots, you can take both of them in the house during the winter and keep them. I kept a lemongrass and a spearmint until my dog got into them. We won't talk about that. But I kept them all year, and
he was just watering it.
Yeah, he was watering it all right. Killed them both. But keep it away from your pets. You want it to live. The lemongrass are kind of expensive, so do your best to keep it year after year, and it will continue to put out good harvest of lemongrass for you.
And Lowe's Home Improvement and Home Depot both carry it.
And I'm sure you can get it online.
And you can get it online, but let me warn you, they send you a little bitty stock to get started, and it costs a fortune. I did it 1 year. From then on,
Lowe's or Home Improvement.
I go to Lowe's or Home Improvement.
So that is how we cut the lemongrass and the mint, as you can see here in the bowls. We've got our mint, we've got our lemongrass ready to go, ready to dry or make some fresh tea after we wash it. I have washed the mint and the lemongrass, and I just put them in the drain rack to drip dry, and then I'll put them back in the bowl so that they can dry out. Also, I have put some in this big jar here, and I put this divider in here and put some black tea and green tea. I get these organic decaffeinated black and organic decaffeinated green. You can get them on Amazon, So I put 4 of each into this jar, and I will just simply add water to that and put it in the fridge overnight, and it will make some great tea. Also, I put me a couple of tea bags and mint. I don't think you can see it, but I put a couple of tea bags and mint in there just to have some tea to go.